Ultimately, the problem usually doesn't come from the breed itself. The problem comes from the mismatch between the breed and the dog owner. The AKC just released its top 5 most popular dog breeds from 2025. But do these dogs actually make good pets? Just because a dog breed is popular does not mean it's going to be a good fit for you. As a professional dog trainer, I work with all different types of breeds, and what I can tell you is that most behavior problems don't come from the dog being bad. They come from people picking out a dog based on looks or popularity, instead of truly understanding the breed and what it needs in order to be successful. So let's go through the top 5 most popular breeds, and I'll tell you the truth about each one. Number 1, the French Bulldog. Now, these dogs are number 1 for a reason, and I get it. They're small, they're cute, and people generally think they are low exercise needs, so they think these dogs are going to be easy, but here's what most people get wrong. People often refer to Frenchies as stubborn because they don't want to do commands all the time, but in reality, these are dogs that just learn they don't have to listen. Some common issues that I've seen in the Frenchies that I've worked with are leash reactivity, generally being very demanding, and dogs that struggle with separation anxiety. Now, all 3 of those issues are actually really related. People tend to just baby Frenchies and they don't treat them like actual dogs when they don't realize that it's a French Bulldog. It's a dog filled with drive, just in a little pint-sized form. Just because these dogs are little, just because they're cute, and just because they are generally lower energy than the rest of the dogs, does not mean they don't need structure, does not mean they don't need clear leadership, and does not mean they don't need clear communication from you as the owner. I'm actually working with a client right now and their Frenchie who has really bad separation anxiety and actually really severe leash reactivity towards everything. This has happened because when they got him, they didn't put in proper boundaries, structures, and limitations. They've always let him do as he wants, and they've never told him when he was not doing good behavior. So is a Frenchie a good pet? I would say yes, it can be, but as long as you honor that dog as a dog and you don't just treat it like a giant baby that you want to carry everywhere. If you have a Frenchie, let me know in the comments, do they actually listen to you, or are they dealing with any of the issues that I just talked about? Number 2, the Labrador Retriever. Now, Labs are known as being great family dogs, and they absolutely can be, but you still do have to recognize this dog as a dog, and you have to make sure that you are fulfilling its needs and don't just expect it to come hardwired to just be a great family pet. The most common issues I see with the Labs I work with are they're usually just overly energetic. They're overly aroused all the time. They're jumping on people, they're exploding out of doorways, they are just constantly chaotic. That doesn't mean that Labs are not capable of more serious behavioral problems such as resource guarding, because if you don't know, Labs are incredibly food driven and they can be very possessive over high value items. So they are very much capable of resource guarding if you don't have clear leadership established in your house. Now, I'm actually working with one of these Labs who is sweet as can be, loves to play, loves to please, but he's came in with a lot of reactivity on leash towards other dogs. Now, we're working through those, and generally it's a pretty quick fix with a Lab because they are so driven to please, and as long as you're able to put in clear expectations of what is acceptable and what's not acceptable, changes can be happening pretty fast. But this is a great example of just because it's a great dog in general and wants to please and wants to do well, doesn't mean it can't develop bad habits. These are dogs that are very intelligent and they want to work. They want to have things to do. So you want to make sure that you're doing some structured walks with them. You're doing very breed specific outlets. You're giving them opportunities to retrieve, playing structured games of fetch, or playing with flirt pole, or getting them into other sports such as like dock diving can be really helpful for this breed. Now, the best thing about Labs is that they generally do want to work with you. They want to do well and they want to please you. This is exactly why people get Labs, is they have a really good reputation as a family dog because they are highly social, they're highly intelligent, and they love to please. But as long as you recognize that these dogs can develop serious behavioral issues without the proper structure and leadership from you as the owner, then this is a dog that you are going to do absolutely wonderfully with as a pet. Number 3, the Golden Retriever. Now, this dog is very similar in personality typically to the Lab, and pretty much everything that I said for the Lab applies here for the Golden Retriever. Goldens are really known for being friendly, and that's largely very true. But just because they're friendly doesn't mean they don't need rules. Similarly to the Lab, the most common issues I see with the Golden Retrievers I work with are they're typically always overexcited, they cannot settle, and they are very prone to separation anxiety. People often get Goldens because they are super friendly and they want to be very social and they want to be next to you. But it's important to recognize that every single dog needs clear structure, clear leadership, and boundaries in order to be successful and reach their true potential. I had one person come in for a consultation who had 2 Golden Retrievers. Both dogs were incredibly sweet, no issues like on the leash or anything like that. But both dogs had incredible separation anxiety because this person always took their Golden everywhere. They took them to work, they took them to the store, they never, ever, ever were apart. So it's very easy to see from the Golden's perspective why separation was so hard. This person could not leave the room without their Goldens freaking out. And the saddest thing is that the owner was just not even willing to work on that. The problem with dog owners a lot of the time is they do things that they want, no matter how it makes the dog feel. And that's why I'll never forget that. That's a person that just did not recognize that the Golden, even though they're incredible dogs, they do still need boundaries. They do need to know how to be alone in order to just be mentally well. In the end, as long as you don't expect a Golden just to be a good dog just because it's a Golden, and you treat it like a dog, establishing clear leadership, clear rules, clear expectations from the jump, you give that dog good fulfillment, mental and physical, then Goldens make absolutely wonderful pets for pretty much anybody. Number 4, the German Shepherd. Now this is one of the most misunderstood breeds out there, and one that I see commonly with very, very severe behavioral issues because people don't recognize what they really have at their disposal. German Shepherds are not for the casual dog owner who is afraid to be a leader. German Shepherds are working dogs that need clear direction. The most common issue that I see with German Shepherds are, without a doubt, anxiety and reactivity. Now, I get why people think that German Shepherds are good pets for them, because these are dogs that, when done properly, are very, very highly intelligent, very loyal, and very easy to train. But you actually have to put in the work for these dogs, otherwise you're looking at serious behavioral problems. And man, so often I see German Shepherds that come into my facility that are treated like giant babies. They can't be told no, and that's because they've been coddled by their owners who just think they're just fluffy little dogs that can just be like on the couch all day long. That is not what a German Shepherd is all about. Is it possible to overcome these challenges if you have a German Shepherd like this? Yes, it is, but you generally have to restructure everything you do with that dog. People will also get German Shepherds for their protective nature. And if you've seen my last video, usually your dog is not protecting you. That applies for German Shepherds as well. These are dogs that are not just because it's a German Shepherd, it's going to protect you. These are dogs that, if without clear direction, they're going to think everything is a threat. They're going to be always alert and never able to settle. So that's not something that you're going to want. If I could summarize it in one sentence, what I would say is that German Shepherds generally need jobs. And if you don't give them those jobs, they're going to find them on their own and you're not going to like it. All in all, while German Shepherds are amazing, I love working with them, and they are such good dogs for so many reasons, I definitely do not think they are good pets for the average dog owner. Now, be honest, if you have a working breed like a German Shepherd or any other working breed, did you really know what you were getting yourself into? Because I know when I got my first working breed Booker, I had no idea. And number 5, the Dachshund. Now, this is a small dog, but man, every single Dachshund I've ever known has a huge personality. And people generally completely underestimate these dogs, and they have no idea why these dogs were actually created to exist in the first place. Did you know that Dachshunds were actually bred to be hunters? They were bred to be able to think independently and thrive. So if you don't establish clear leadership with your Dachshund, you don't have clear rules, clear boundaries, clear structure in your house, these are dogs that are totally okay with making their own decisions and doing whatever the hell they want. The most common issues that I see with the Dachshunds I've worked with are they are prone to separation anxiety, again, because people treat them like little stuffed animals, but they are also typically pretty reactive. They bark at everything all the time, and they typically just always want to do their own thing. And because they are small and they usually fit in the palm of your hand, people allow it. And they don't treat these dogs like dogs. Even as a small dog, they need clear structure. You need to be able to follow through on all of your commands. You need to have boundaries on your personal space. Make sure you're teaching this dog independence and how to be okay in their independence. You need to be properly fulfilling this dog. Give this dog an opportunity to use its nose, to do what it was intended to do, which is hunt. Give them an opportunity to do that. Play nose games with them, get them into barn hunt. There are so many ways that you can fulfill your dachshund, and it's not just letting them be cooped up in the house all day, because that's going to create a lot of problems for you. Most importantly here, don't be afraid to tell your dachshund no, that behavior is unacceptable. Don't let them demand bark all day long. Don't always give in to their needs because they're little and they're cute, because your life is just going to be chaotic that way, I promise you. In conclusion, if you treat a dachshund like a dog, and you really recognize and honor what it was bred to do, and you treat it the way it's supposed to be treated with clear structure, clear leadership, and clear boundaries, dachshunds can definitely make good pets. Now let me be clear, and here's the truth, is that all these breeds, and all breeds in general, can be a really good fit as long as it matches your lifestyle. Because ultimately the problem usually doesn't come from the breed itself, the problem comes from the mismatch between the breed and the dog owner. You need to pick a dog that matches your actual lifestyle. So if any of those breeds and everything I described in terms of what they need, in terms of the exercise level, whatever it might be, if that matches your lifestyle, then that'll be a good fit for you. People need to stop picking a dog based on its looks or based on its popularity. They need to start picking dogs on what breed matches their lifestyle and what they're willing to do for that dog every single day. Because even the right dog in the wrong environment becomes a problem. But the right dog in the right environment becomes everything you've ever wanted and more. Let me know in the comments, what breed of dog do you have, and when you got that dog, were you prepared for it? As always, if you want real advice from a dog trainer that's going to tell you exactly how it is, subscribe to the channel. I'm the Big Dog Guy, and I'll see you in the next one.